let's get started. Let's get started in a comfortable seat. So any comfortable seat for you, any place where your hips can relax, your spine can lift tall, and your shoulders can release. Just taking a few moments to find that place where you can breathe. Full, deep breaths. And as you breathe, beginning to notice your breath. Noticing where in your body your breath is moving. Noticing any resistance or hesitation within your breath. Noticing any thoughts that might have joined you on your mat this morning. Just taking these few breaths to release any of those thoughts, emotions, or ties that are pulling you from this space, this time. And taking one more breath here, a deep breath in. And out. Letting your hands come to the top of your knees. Gonna find our seated cat-cows. So with your next inhale, letting your chest draw forward, shoulder blades drawing towards each other. Maybe gazing up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, letting your spine round, leaning into that space between your shoulder blades. And finding some movement here with your breath. Deep breaths in to open up. And your deep breaths out to round. And if at any point it feels nice to pause at one space for a breath or two, I encourage you to open up there. And then give equal time to your body, allowing you to pause in the other space. Just taking one more full round of breath, of movement. And out. As you inhale, rising tall. We're going to find a seated fold, letting your hands start to walk out long in front of you. And wherever you end up, letting your head and neck release. Your arms and shoulders to let go. One more breath in and out. As you inhale, slowly rising back up and letting your hands come behind you about a foot or so. We're going to find our heart opener here. It's taking a big shoulder roll, allowing your shoulder blades to draw towards each other, your chest opening up. You can take your head and neck wherever feels comfortable for you. So maybe gazing forward, maybe gazing up, maybe lifting your chin up towards the ceiling. One more deep breath in. And out. Gently to release your shoulders. Coming back through center. Then we're going to find your way onto your hands and your knees and your tabletop. You can rock over your shins or swing your feet around to the side. And initially letting your hips find a little sway from left to right. Next time your hips come over towards that left side, we're going to pause, leaning into your left outer hip. Maybe gazing over your right shoulder. And if it would feel good for you, you can let your hips start to shift towards your heel a little bit, and then maybe shifting back to that neutral space. Just trying to find that perfect space of your hips, a perfect place where you need this breath. Full deep breath in and out. Slowly coming back into a neutral tabletop. Taking some circles of your hips around your knees. Some gentle circles in both directions. The next time your hips come over towards that right side, trying to find the neutral space forward to back. You can give your hips right above your knees, then letting your hips come over towards the right side. Maybe gazing over your left shoulder. And staying right here with your hips in line with your knees, or letting your hips start to shift back towards your heels a little bit. And finding that perfect place in there that is waiting for this next breath. A full deep breath in and out. Slowly coming back through center, finding a few more of those hip circles around your knees. Going in both directions. And we're going to work into your wrists and forearms just a little bit this morning. So initially turning your hands so they face towards the sides of your mat. You can stay right here, or finding a little rock with your shoulders side to side. And staying here, if you want to work a little bit deeper, you can let your hands rotate all the way around, almost to the point where your fingers start to point towards your knees. And you can let your rock start to go from forward to back there. But wherever you end up, it's a reminder to be gentle on your wrists. We use them so much every day and don't often give them enough love. One more breath. Full deep breath in. And your full deep breath out. Gently releasing your hands back through center. You can give them a little shake if they need it. And then we're going to work onto the back sides of your hands one at a time. Bring the whole back of your hand, fingers pointing towards your knees. You might have a big bend to your elbow, and that's okay. Maybe working towards straightening into your arm. If your arm fully straightens, maybe letting your hips start to shift towards your heels. One more breath on this side. A deep breath in and out. Gently bending your elbow to release your wrist and give it a little wiggle, a little shake. And we're going to come onto your other side. Bring the whole back of your hand, fingers pointing towards your knees. Maybe beginning to straighten into your arm. Maybe letting your hips shift towards your heels. Finding that perfect space for this side of your body. And then coming back to your breath to allow you to be there. One more full deep breath in and out. Gently bending into your elbow to release your wrists. Give it a little wiggle. And then we're going to find your way into your downward facing dog. Letting your toes curl, hips pressing up and back. You can find a pedal of your feet bending one knee and then the other. Pausing on one side for an extra breath. Giving equal time to the other side. And coming back through center, your neutral downward facing dog, and finding some stillness here. Stillness in your body. A slow, steady breath. Your next inhale rising high into your toes and walking your feet towards your hands, maybe your hands back towards your feet, finding a gentle forward fold, a soft bend to your knees, head and neck to release. You can shake your head yes and no. You can shake your head maybe. Taking a slightly deeper bend into your knees and slowly rolling up to stand. Taking a big shoulder roll at the top. Maybe a few more revolutions, a full range of motion in your shoulder joints. And finding your mountain pose, your Tadasana, standing at the top of your mat. Your feet can be together about hip width apart. Standing as tall as you can, arms releasing by your sides. And pausing here to notice your breath. Noticing the ground beneath your feet. The air as it touches your skin. Noticing this breath. A full deep breath in. And your full deep breath out. Your next inhale, sweeping your arms overhead to reach tall. Exhale, forward fold, coming all the way down. Inhaling to your half lift. Exhale to fold. You inhale, sweeping your arms overhead, reaching tall, rising tall. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Pausing here for a breath in. And out. As you inhale, sweeping your arms overhead, reaching tall. Pausing here, we're going to find our side bends. Taking your left wrist with your right hand. As you inhale to find length. Exhale, side bending towards the right. Allowing your chest to roll open. Keeping length on both side bodies. Next inhale, coming back through center and swapping your wrists. Taking another breath in to find length. And exhale, side bending towards the left. Chest rolling open, leaning into that outer right hip. One more breath in and out. As you inhale, coming back through center to reach tall. And exhale, forward fold, coming all the way down. Inhaling to your half lift, finding length. Exhale to fold. We're going to pause here for your active forward fold. Your hands can be on blocks, your legs, the ground, or any bind that might be in your practice. But wherever you end up, thinking about drawing the crown of your head towards the ground and your hips up towards the ceiling. Taking one more breath in and out. Releasing any binds that you might have. As you inhale, rising to your half lift. As you exhale, stepping back into your plank, the top of a push-up. Taking a full deep breath in here. And as you exhale, your chaturanga or your knees, chest and chin. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale to your downward facing dog. And stepping your feet together, finding our three-legged dog. Letting your right leg extend out behind you. And staying right here, opening up through your hips, maybe bending into your knee. If you're opening up your hips, still letting your shoulders start to square towards the ground. Pressing firm through both hands, through your both heels. Your next inhale to extend that leg, squaring your hips. And stepping your right foot forward into a low lunge. Right foot stepping by your right wrist, left knee coming onto your mat. Hips beginning to draw forward and down. We're going to be here on your back knee for a little bit. So if you need some extra padding, maybe your cushion, or if you need to, you can always fold your mat over from the side just to give it a little double up. Whatever you might need. You can stay here with your hands on the ground. Maybe moving up to blocks if they're close by. Maybe coming up to your right knee. Or any other space that feels right. One more breath in and out. Letting your hands come down to frame your front foot. Gonna find our half splits. Hips shifting up and back. Maybe that right foot scoots a little bit more forward. Taking a deep breath in to find your length. And a breath out to find your fold. stay right here. If you want to get off your back knee, or if you want to work a little bit deeper, you can curl your back toes. Start to let that back leg start to straighten. If your back leg is lifted, taking one more breath. Letting that back knee start to lower back down. When you're ready, bending back into your front knee, we're going to move into our lizard lunge, walking your right foot over towards the right side of your mat, both hands coming inside of that leg. Letting your knee start to hug in towards your shoulder. And finding a breath where your hips can begin to draw forward and down. You can stay up on your palms, maybe lowering your forearms to blocks or all the way towards the ground. Finding a space where you can breathe and where your chest can open up. One more breath here. A full deep breath in. And your full deep breath out. If you're on your forearms, slowly coming back onto your palms. We're going to come through a twist here before moving out. One final pose. Letting your left hand ground onto the ground or a block. Right hand coming towards your right knee. Taking a full deep breath in. As you exhale, twisting towards the right. You can stay here with your hand on your knee. Maybe your arm opens up towards the ceiling. If you're feeling adventurous, maybe bending into your left knee and reaching back for your left foot. But wherever you end up, still allow your spine to lengthen, and your chest, your heart space to open. If you have your back foot gently to release, and releasing that right hand down. Letting your hip shift up and back enough to let that right knee step to meet your left. Then taking some big hip circles here. Maybe your hips come all the way towards your heels like a soft child's pose. And when your hips come forward, maybe letting them come all the way into a soft cobra. And going in the opposite direction, finding that full range of movement. And when you're feeling even, we're going to find your downward facing dog. And your toes curl, hips pressing up and back. Taking a moment to find any amount of movement that you need before taking one breath of stillness. A deep breath in and out. Then moving into your three-legged dog on the other side. Left leg extending out behind you. Staying right here, letting your hips open up, bending into the left knee. Opening up through that left hip. The legs open, reminder to square your shoulders towards the ground, pressing out through your hands, out through both heels. As you inhale, just extend the legs, squaring your hips, then stepping your left foot forward to your low lunge. Left foot by your left wrist, right knee coming down onto your mat. And then finding that space that's right for here, for this side of your body, for this time in your practice. My teachers say that the first side informs our second. I always translate that in my body to learning all those little things that I'm working on in this space to move right into it. Allowing me to find that perfect space sooner and to breathe. Your full deep breaths in and out. Just one more breath here. Deep breath in and out. Letting your hips begin to shift up and back. Finding our half splits. Let your right hip start to come right above your right knee. Maybe the left foot scoots out a little bit more. Taking a deep breath in to find your length. And a breath out to find your fold. And if you did so on the other side, you have the option to lift that back knee. So letting your right toes curl. Maybe that right leg begins to straighten a little or a lot. If your back knee is lifted, just one more breath here. Breath in and out. Letting the back knee release down. When you're ready, bending back into your front knee. We're going to find our lizard lunge, walking your left foot over towards the left side, both hands inside of the left leg. Allowing your hips to begin to draw forward and down. So letting your knee draw towards your shoulder. That hug inward. And then taking your time to move into your space here. The place where your heart can open. And your breath can flow. Just one more breath here. A deep breath in and out. If you're on your forearms, slowly rising back up. We're going to prepare for your twist on this side. Letting your right hand start to ground, either on the ground or a block. Left hand coming towards your knee. Taking a deep breath in to find length. And a breath out to find your twist. Maybe the hand stays on the knee. Maybe it opens up. If you did so on the other side, bending into the back knee, reaching back for your foot. Allowing your spine to lengthen, your heart to open. And the breath to take you deeper. One more breath in and out. Gently releasing your left back foot and the left hand to come down. Hip shifting up and back. Enough to let that left knee step to meet your right. And then taking any movement or motion that might feel good. So maybe some of those big hip circles again. You're welcome to pause in a soft cobra or upward facing dog. But eventually we're all going to meet in your child's pose. Your toe mounts to touch, your knees can be together or a little wider apart. Hips drawing towards your heels, head and neck to release down. And if this space does not feel comfortable for you, finding any other place where your body can rest, your body can settle, where your body can breathe. And taking a few deep clearing breaths wherever you are. Full breaths in. And your big sigh out. One more breath here. Full deep breath in. And out. As you inhale, rising back into your table, curling your toes and pressing into your downward facing dog. As you inhale, rising high into your toes and walking your feet towards your hands, maybe your hands back towards your feet. Finding another gentle forward fold, that soft bend to your knees, head and neck to release. And this time, let your feet come a little bit wider apart. Hip width maybe a little bit wider than that. You can take your opposite elbows and let your arms hang heavy. Maybe a light rock with your arms and shoulders from side to side. And then we're going to find your malasana, your squat. Let your arms release, your hands coming toward the ground or blocks. Your feet can be parallel towards each other, your toes flare towards the sides a little bit. Letting your knees bend, your hips start to draw down, and pause wherever you feel stable and strong. Wherever you feel like you can stand right back up if you need to. Hands can stay on the ground, your heart center. If it's needed, you can even have a block or 2 or 4 underneath your hips if you need a little extra support. But wherever you are, finding your breath, your deep breaths in and out. Just one more breath here. Breath in and out. Then we're going to make your way into a seat, however you would like to get there. You can bring your hands behind you and let your hips settle down or whatever works best. But initially letting the soles of your feet come to your mat nice and wide and find a little windshield wiper of your knees side to side. We're going to move into our bound angle, your Baddha Konasana. Soles of your feet together, heels coming tight towards your groin, as tight as feels okay on your hips and your knees. Allowing your spine to lengthen, knees pressing out and down. And if it feels okay, letting your feet start to open up like a little book. Staying right here, maybe a light lean forward. Maybe a fold forward. And let your lean, your fold, start with your belly button, letting your belly button draw towards your toes. And maybe the head and neck and shoulders start to release. One more breath here. A deep breath in and out. As you inhale, slowly rising back up. Then we're going to scoot your feet a little bit further out in front of you for a nice wide diamond shape. It's about the same distance from heels to groin as from knee to knee. Taking another deep breath in to find your length. And a breath out to find your fold. Thinking about resting your forehead on the soles of your feet. One more breath here. A deep breath in and out. As you inhale, slowly rising up and letting your feet scoot all the way out long in front of you. Seated forward fold, Paschimottanasana. Your feet can be together, hip width apart, or a little bit wider. Straight leg or a soft bend to your knees. Whatever you need to let your hips find that tilt forward. Taking a deep breath in to find your length and a breath out to find your fold. And finding that space where you can breathe. And your head and neck can release just that little bit more. And if your knees are bent, maybe starting to straighten them out just a little bit. And breathe. One more deep breath here. Deep breath in and out. As you inhale, slowly rising up. Then we're going to come all the way onto your backs, rolling all the way down. Letting your knees come into your chest, if that would feel okay. You can find some rocks of your knees around your hips, some circles together or independently, whatever might feel good for you here, even if that's stillness. And staying here, moving into your happy baby, letting your knees start to draw towards your armpits, your hands come behind your thighs, your ankles, maybe your feet. But wherever you end up, letting your tailbone start to draw down towards the ground, and your shoulders to release towards the ground as well. Taking one more breath in and out. Letting your knees release back into your chest. And then we're going to find a reclined twist. So you can keep your knees stacked together and letting your knees come over towards the left side of your body. If you want to take any other variation, maybe your left leg starts to straighten and bringing that right knee across. Or any other space here that would feel good. And taking one more breath here. Full deep breath in. And out. Slowly coming back through center. Pausing in the middle to readjust your hips, your spine. To resettle your breath. And then we're going to find your twist over on the other side, on your right side. Taking that same variation you took on the first. So maybe your knees stayed together, maybe one leg straightens, or any other space that would feel right for you. Taking one more breath here. A full deep breath in. A full deep breath out. And slowly coming back through center. Pausing here in the middle, taking any adjustment to realign hips and spine. Then one final posture for this morning before your Shavasana. Feels okay letting your knees come back into your chest. And staying right here, maybe letting your feet come all the way up towards the ceiling. Thinking about drawing your heels right above your hips. You can have a soft bend to your knees. You can use your arms to hold your legs. Trying to use as little effort in your legs as you can to keep them where they are. If you have a wall handy nearby, you can swing around and let your feet rest on the wall. Allowing your breath to begin to slow down. Allowing your breath to move deeper into your belly. Picking up anything that's ready to go and releasing it out with your exhales. Gently releasing your knees to your chest, then your feet to your mat. And preparing for your Shavasana, your final relaxation. You can let your legs extend long, arms by your side, or any other space that feels most comfortable for you. Whatever shape that looks like, however much space that takes up. And slowly using your breath to give your body permission to release, to let go. Releasing control of your thoughts. And allowing your mind to wander. to deepen your inhalations and your exhalations, allowing with each breath life, energy, and movement to make its way into your fingers and toes, your arms and legs, back in through your head and neck. Your next inhale, letting your arms stretch long overhead for a deep reach. And as you exhale, hugging your knees in towards your chest. And then eventually making your way up into a comfortable seat. Pausing for one deep clearing breath somewhere along the way. Thank you all so much for sharing your time, space, and energy with me and with each other. The light in me sees and honors the light in each of you. Namaste.